I'm so glad it's out, and I think the world would be a much better place if it doesn't come back on.
You know, Ted Lasso a couple weeks ago on his show said, I used to think good people went to heaven and bad people went to hell. I found out that we're all both. So I'm not really sure how it works out after we die. And the older I get, the more I realize that's the case with corporations and everything.
And this is coming in a day after a whistleblower revealed that the company Facebook prioritized profit over public good.
I mean, the world as we know it this morning is grinding to a significant halt.
It is scary.
I've had to put this stuff on my hands repeatedly because I don't know what to do with my hands without social media.
Facebook, WhatsApp and Instagram have all gone down in a major outage overnight.
These outages do happen from time to time. Other social media companies experience them as well, but this is a particularly long one.
Hundreds of millions of people around the world using some of the most popular social media sites, Facebook, Instagram and WhatsApp, have been forced offline in a major global blackout.
And there is a somewhat strange coincidence that Facebook is actually in the news today because of a whistleblower here in the United States who has been talking in the past 24 hours in a very embarrassing way for Facebook.
Frances Haugen, a former Facebook employee, coming forward publicly for the first time on 60 Minutes.
The thing I saw at Facebook over and over again was there were conflicts of interest between what was good for the public and what was good for Facebook. And Facebook over and over again chose to optimize for its own interests, like making more money.
At first, a former Facebook employee who leaked thousands of pages of the company's internal research to the Wall Street Journal revealed her identity in a 60 Minutes interview that aired last night. Frances Haugen, a former project manager for Facebook, says her goal has been to help prompt change at the social media giant. When she quit the company in May, she took a trove of private research with her.
Haugen says Facebook's own research acknowledges that its platforms are harming the mental state of users, most notably teenagers.
Misinformation, angry content is enticing to people and keeps them on the platform.
Yes. Facebook has realized that if they change the algorithm to be safer, people will spend less time on the site, they'll click on less ads, they'll make less money.
I'm not so sure we're in the gray area here with Facebook. This is they have documents that say their products destroy young girls' life. It gives young girls suicidal ideations, kills young girls. They really undermine American democracy.
You wonder, of course, if one company, Facebook, owning multiple major online platforms is a good idea.
Facebook is the public square that we inhabit, and you can walk away from that square.
It's now becoming clear we need to protect ourselves online. Start protecting yourself with Private Internet Access. Private Internet Access is the leading no-log VPN service with over 1 million active users, 30 million downloads, and it's even open source. A VPN helps protect you from prying eyes you might not be aware of, and help you remain anonymous. A VPN can also assist in accessing things you might not normally have access to, including Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, you name it, by making it look like you're in another location. Private Internet Access is available on all of your devices. Get Private Internet Access and become anonymous online. Click the link in the description to get your VPN risk-free and get an 83% off discount.
This is a crazy idea that you're going to give your life to some sort of augmented or virtual reality world that's created by a guy who's involved in this company whose algorithms are sowing the seeds of distrust and hate. But now we're going to fucking let him take over what you see and feel, because you're going to have a new company, and this new company is going to be virtually reality based, where he's literally he reenacted a scene from Black Mirror.
Yeah. Well,
which is unironically.
It was only a matter of time before one of these tech billionaires decided to build their own Matrix. I get that in a pandemic it is useful to have these extra channels of communication when FaceTime is limited, but the degree of virtual immersion he is proposing surely cannot be good for the generation of young people who have been left riddled with mental health issues and anxiety from his products.
Bella Hadid is opening up about her mental health. On Tuesday, the 25-year-old supermodel shared a screen recording of Willow Smith on her Instagram.
She's one of the most popular faces on ramps and campaigns globally. These tearful selfies that you see of Bella Hadid are not part of an ad campaign. These are a part of her real story, her unfiltered story. Hadid posted these photos on social media. The caption read, "This is pretty much my everyday, every night for a few years now."
Bella then got candid about her ongoing battle with anxiety, sharing raw photos of herself crying in her room and hooked up to an IV.
And these photos were her way of sending out a message to these 47 million people. She writes, and I'm quoting, "People forget that everyone is basically feeling the same way, lost, confused, not really sure where they are, why they're here."
He says the new Meta name will better encompass what they do, which is reaching beyond social media. Meta comes from the Greek word meaning beyond.
It is time for us to adopt a new company brand to encompass everything that we do, to reflect who we are and what we hope to build. Starting today, our company is now Meta. Our mission remains the same. It's still about bringing people together.
This is something that Mark Zuckerberg has been really interested in and excited about for months, if not years now. But they really are leaning into it over this next few years. And I think this name change is really emblematic of the future of what he wants his company to look like.
And this is her, the real her. Social media is not real, she says. This is new. Bella Hadid says it was becoming harder for her to not share her truth with the world.
My theory, which is that this is, if Zucker is creating a simulation, there's going to be a moment in time where in that simulation, you will be able to create another simulation. And if you can simulate in the forward direction, what does that tell us about the backward? That we
right now
is
we're
a simulation.
Yeah.
Because he's creating a simulation. Inside that's a simulation. Simulations all the way down. I am not high. I think I do believe I have a stomach flu, which could be making me crazy. But
maybe it's a glitch in the Matrix.
Yes.
There are people who are just not engaging in the same. They're not playing the same game that we are. Right? We're essentially drugging ourselves. Robert Nozick is the libertarian philosopher. He talks at one point about what he calls the experience machine, his thought experiment. And the experience machine is basically VR. He's writing this in early 1960s. He says, what if there was a machine where you could plug into it, you'd feel the illusion of choice, you'd feel as though your choices had some sort of significance, and it would give you the dopamine hit that you get in regular life. Would you plug into it or would you not?
Right.
And his theory was you wouldn't plug into it because you still want to feel like your life has real-world consequences. But what if everybody you know is in that experience machine? Then you're the one who gets left out if you're not in the experience machine.
What is real world? I mean, that's what the problem is. That analogy was created before the sophistication of computer systems has reached the point now where you can look at it 20 years from now and you kind of get an understanding of where it's going to be. When you're dealing with what's possible now, I don't think you're going to be able to stop people from doing it because I think it's going to be so overwhelmingly addictive.
Deja vu is usually a glitch in the Matrix. It happens when they change something.
I think this is one of the few movies that has seeped its way into every kind of facet of popular culture.
I'll run into young people who've done college courses, all of the philosophies and ideas around the Matrix.
It's this amazing, magical, mythological world that has been created using numbers and digits. But it's actually about consciousness. It's actually about thought.
Billions of people just living out their lives. Oblivious.
You'll hear the sentences, "The Matrix changed my life." So I just say, thank you, change mine too.